Blog Talk Radio.
What's going on, folks? It's your boy Long Beach Joe, and I am back at it again. Woo! I'm back at it again, man. Listen, for those of you that are live on Blog Talk Radio that are listening to your boy, maybe you're listening to me on my podcast, okay? Maybe you're listening to the audio after what just happened. But for those of you that do not know, your boy, salutes to all the savages in the chat, I see you. Your boy is talking to you live directly after a huge Jets victory over the Philadelphia Eagles, 20-14. 20-14. The Jets get a W. Now, this is a Jets W that came without Sauce Gardner, without DJ Reed, without Brandon Echols. And a lot of doubters talking about how the Jets were just lambs to be led to slaughter. There were injuries, there were questionable calls. And we're going to be discussing it all directly after watching this game. What a victory by the New York Jets. But before I go too crazy, let me get into the show. Listen, I am the man of the people. I'm here for the people. Let me shamelessly promote my Facebook page. Everyone go on Facebook, search The Long Beach Joe Show. Like that page. My content's up there. Go ahead and give it a listen. Message me. I'll message you right back. I love going back and forth with you folks about this football team. Also, leave me some feedback. I love hearing about what you folks think I do here on The Long Beach Joe Show. I'm also on YouTube as well. All right? For those of you that do not know, your boy be on YouTube, okay? We stream live. That's why I'm sitting here with the Savages. Come on over to YouTube. Type in Long Beach Joe Jets on YouTube. All right? Go ahead and do that. Your boy's also on iTunes as well. Go on over to iTunes. Type in The Long Beach Joe Show, The Long Beach Joe Show on iTunes, and subscribe to the podcast there. All right? Not just subscribe to it, but also leave your boy some feedback, okay? I appreciate that. Let me know how you folks feel. Give me a 5-star rating. Helps the show get out there. And then, leave your boy some comments. Also, keep in mind, okay, when you do come over to YouTube, Long Beach Joe Jets, and you subscribe, just know you're going to run into, some people in the chat called the Savages. You want to know why I call them the Savages? Because they're savage. Savage! Listen. They don't like what you got to say. They're going to destroy you, all right? Now it's time to get into it. There's a lot of things moving and shaking and going on, okay, coming into this week against against the Philadelphia Eagles, okay? And we'll get to all the callers really quickly. We're going to just really quickly recap the game. A lot of people saying, hey, the Jets haven't beat the Eagles in their franchise history. Oh, the Jets are just lambs led to slaughter. They're going to get blown away. This Philadelphia Eagles team is phenomenal. Even without Jalen Carter and Darius Slay, who cares? You guys are trash. Keep in mind that the New York Jets were also missing DJ Reed, Sauce Gardner, okay? Neither one of them played in this game. They're also missing Echols as well. This was a banged-up secondary, all right? You had Michael Carter sometimes on the outside. You had Bryce Hall playing, all right? You had Craig James. They called him up from the practice squad. This was a secondary that was supposed to get destroyed in this game. Was supposed to absolutely get rocked. This Jets defense wasn't going to be able to stop anybody. This Jets defense made plays. I'm talking play after play after play. This Jets defense did work. Quincy Williams, phenomenal. 12 tackles. Also had a tackle for loss. He was causing havoc all over the place out there. Bryce Huff made plays too. 3 tackles, half a sack. These guys were doing work. I'm talking work. They had 4 turnovers. 4 on the day. This Jets defense was phenomenal. Huff, Williams, CJ Mosley made plays. All these guys did work. The Jets offense stumbled, was struggling at times to get into the end zone. A lot of things weren't moving, shaking, or bouncing our way. Zach Wilson stayed the course, though. 19 of 33, 186 yards on the day. No touchdowns, but no interceptions. Zach played decently. There was pressure constantly on his side, 5 sacks on the day. Breece Hall, we gave him the ball, 12 carries, 39 yards. Guys were trying to find their way. We got into the second half, was able to get some mojo flowing, but we just couldn't get into the end zone. Even with the turnovers we got, right? Even with the turnovers we got, up until the last end of the fourth quarter, we were only kicking field goals. Never mind the fact of all the bad calls that we got. We'll be talking about that tonight as well, too. Jalen Hurts touchdown early. That wasn't a touchdown. He extends after his left side is on the ground. They give him a touchdown, which is insane. Running into the punter, which wasn't running into the punter. They gave him 5 yards off of that. They even called Allen Lazard for an illegal block, which was mind-blowing. We got so many calls, so many penalties. Penalties killed the New York Jets offense today as well. It hurt us a lot. It hurt us a lot. So many penalties that stopped a lot of our drives. We had 9 penalties on the day for 68 yards. Got to clean that up. But guys fought through. Even with all the bad calls from the people that wear striped shirts, I'm not going to talk directly about them. This is YouTube. This is NFL. There's people that wear striped shirts. There was a lot of bad calls. But we fought through and we continued to push. Continue to push. And the Jets defense was put into a situation where they had to come up with some critical plays. Had to come up with some critical plays there. And they were able to get it done. In the fourth quarter, with 1 minute and 50 seconds left, running off the clock after the Eagles had ran the ball and the Jets had to call timeouts. Jalen Hurts dropped back. He was looking to get the ball to his tight end, Goddard. And Tony Adams stepped up and picked it off. That set the New York Jets up in a situation, 1st and goal at Philadelphia's 8. They hand the ball off to Breece Hall, and Breece Hall runs up the middle for 8 yards and a touchdown. That put the New York Jets up 14 to 20. And that put it on our defense. There was a lot of talk of whether the New York Jets should have scored there. Maybe we should have just went down, drained the clock, made Philadelphia call some timeouts, and then just, went on in and tried to kick a field goal and call it a day. Jets took it in. They put it back on our defense. And our defense went out there and showed and proved. Jaylen Brown's trying to get the ball to A.J. Brown. Didn't happen. Mind you, he had a catch earlier in this game that was not a catch. Another call that was questionable. He catches the ball and goes out of the bounds. The ball's bobbling around. They still give him a catch. Okay, cool. Then you turn around. He tries to get the ball to Smith. That falls incomplete. Then he tries to get the ball to Smith again. That falls incomplete. And to close it out, Whitehead ends up knocking a pass down as he's trying to target Smith again deep. Game over. 4th and 8. Game over. Jets win. Now, there was a lot of things going up against the New York Jets in this game. Again, there are people that wear striped shirts that clearly, make a lot of questionable calls. I don't want to go too far, too deep. We got callers. We're going to get into it. But the New York Jets came out victorious today. First win over the Philadelphia Eagles in their franchise history. Even with a depleted secondary, this team stood up and took care of business. They stood up and they stood fast. And I absolutely loved every second of it. We're getting to the lines. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. I'm taking all callers. Again, when you call in, be patient, okay? For my new callers, I can physically see you. When you call in, I can see you're on the line. Just wait. We're going to get to everybody. It's a 2-hour show. We're going to talk to everybody, all right? Make sure your phone line is good when you call in. Make sure, okay, that there's no crazy background noise. If you're listening to me, put me on mute. If I do not know you by name, I will call out your area code, okay? I'll call out your area code. Please know what your area code is, all right? And we're going to talk to everybody. Whew, I am so hyped. The New York Jets have gotten their W. They're now 3-3. After talks of a season that was just off the rails, it's over. Aaron Rodgers is done. We're finished. Oh, it's all over, said and done. The New York Jets are fighting hard. There was talks from people talking about firing Sella at one point. I'm going straight to the lines. 515-602-9639. Please give the stream a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so when I post content, you'll be in the know. Super Chat is at the top if you want to give to the platform. Cash App as well. You can give to the platform that way. Anything you give to the platform is greatly appreciated. First caller I'm going to is Val. We're going straight to Val, Ted, Steve. I'll come to you guys in a second. New callers, hold on. We're going directly to Val, though. For those of you that do not know Val, he's a savage. Savage! Val, listen to me, brother. We sat here and we watched this game together, okay? And we talked a lot. There was a lot of back and forth between everybody in the chat about what was happening. Give me your thoughts about what you saw out here in this Jets victory. How hyped are you watching this Jets defense go out there and put on, even without their top two cornerbacks in the game? Give me your thoughts.
Joe, I have seen this defense take it to a whole different level. Talk about urgency, talking about we were starting slow. They came out. I don't know what it is. It just seems like now the primetime games is actually motivating us even more to open up the playbook and for this defense to come out more dominant. We actually stopped coming out slow. We came out ready to punch at these, basically the number one offense in the league right now, or probably the top three in the league. Yeah. But we definitely came out and we destroyed because there was a whole bunch of flippery, there was trickery plays and stuff. We wasn't falling for none of that. We adjusted and we came and punched them in the mouth. Man, like this was a great game, and this is a game without Echoes, Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed. This is our backup. Yeah. And something, man, listen, I don't know what it is with Bryce Hall with the football. I think he sleeps with the football at night because it seems like the football always finds his way. Yep. I don't know what it is. That ball is very attractive to him. And Adams, man, that was a great interception, great read, and definitely great coverage as well, too. Man, this team could not score at all. And talk about the referees. Oh, whoa, I can't say that. Talk about the people with the striped shirt.
Yes, the striped shirts. Be careful. Be careful. This is YouTube. Listen, everybody listening to me on Blog Talk Radio or the podcast, listen, we got to be careful. Okay, this is we're live and we have to adjust. Okay, we got to make adjustments. Security is paramount. People that wear striped shirts, okay, tend to have an issue with the Jets, like you were leading to, Val. And I want to ask you about that. Jalen Hurts touchdown. That was not a touchdown in my, personal opinion. We also saw the running into the punter, the A.J. Brown catch going out of bounds that he was still bobbling, but they gave him the illegal block by Lazard. That was not an illegal block. Give me your thoughts about people in striped shirts that tend to not agree with things going the Jets' way. I just want to give me your thoughts about the people in striped shirts. That's all I'm going to ask you.
Oh, man. Talk about movement on the offensive line on the right side. How many times that they moved that they didn't even call it? Oh, my God. It was just like they was just blinded to whatever the Eagles was doing. Yeah. And, man, it's just that we just got to beat the situation. And I don't know what's going on with these referees. Allegedly. People in striped shirts. I don't know why the NFL, the people with the striped shirts, allegedly, I don't know why the NFL just doesn't love the Jets. I don't know. Allegedly. I'm just going to put it out there. Because it just seems like we can't get no calls. And like I said in the chat, man, when the ball was dangling, I was like, man, Joe, listen, I already know what's going to happen. You know what was going to happen. Everybody in the chat already knew what was going to happen. They was going to turn that over. And, man, it's just right now everybody's just talking about this game all over social media, all over everything right now, man. Like, even kids was crying at the with Eagles fans and stuff like that, because they just definitely took them by surprise.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
No,
man.
listen.
The whole nation seen it.
Yeah. Now
Okay,
I hear you talking about everything that's moving and shaking. We talked about the defense, right? We talked about people that wear striped shirts. I want to talk to you about this offense, though, man. Right? Because yes, they did come out and they struggled. They struggled at times, especially the turnovers. Right? We had 4 turnovers in the game. We had 3 interceptions, and I believe it was a fumble as well that we were able to get. 1 interception by Tony. Quinnen Williams also got one as well. Bryce Hall, like you said as well, got one. But for me, I looked at the offense, and yeah, they started slow. We were getting field goal drives. There was a lot of penalties along our offense as well that stalled and hurt us. A lot of drive holding calls, a lot of things moving and shaking. But me personally, I thought that Zach Wilson played well. He didn't kill us. 19 to 33 on the day, 186 yards. I think he looked solid. Give me your thoughts on the offense and them just being able to punch it in late. Give me your thoughts.
Joe, you might be surprised when I say that. I might say this, but I agree with you on the Zach Wilson part. He did play solid.
Okay.
He definitely played solid.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely did not turn over the ball. Did he turn over the ball? Oh, no, he didn't turn over the ball.
No turnovers, no interceptions.
And, maintain the game and did not get us in trouble. That is the main thing that we did. And we ran the ball effectively. Dalvin Cook, he got 10 yards. Finally, everybody, clapped to that. We seen McCall Hardman for about 5 seconds. Clapped to that as well, too.
Yes.
And, we definitely maintain the game. And Garrett Wilson, talk about give it to your playmaker.
Yes.
Give it to your playmaker.
Yes.
And talk about another playmaker, Breece Hall. Man, that man just – even you said it. Does he even look like he just came out from an injury? Right. That man looked like he was hungry to get back on that field and kill. That's what I see. He's ready to eat, man. And it's just basically it's limiting the turnovers. And they gave the defense a break. They didn't have to force them back out there. They actually had more of a break. The ball was moving a little bit. The playbook was opening up a lot more. It could have opened up a little bit more. I wanted to see a little bit more trickery, like a little bit more wildcat. It was a little too predictable, but actually it was good. We maintained it though. But I feel like we should do a little bit more better. But hey. We got the win. That's all that matters. As soon as we got that W, that's all that matters about this game.
Okay. Now,
and coaching wise,
go ahead.
say, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was gonna end with the coaching. Give me your thoughts about what you saw from Sulla. The New York Jets are now 3-3, right? Final question. Give me your thoughts about Sulla and his coaching staff to this point, because there was a lot of people talking about firing Sulla. No jokes. There was a lot of people talking about firing Sulla coming into this game. There were people, listen, and I was talking to everybody.
What his contract is.
Go ahead. Give me your thoughts. Yeah. Tell them, Val, we sitting here talking. People was asking me, yo, Joe, how long is this contract? When can we get this guy out of here? Am I lying?
I'm an advocate to that as well, too.
Okay, you know what I'm saying?
I ain't innocent.
Okay, I'm just saying, Val, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? But give me your thoughts, Val. 3-3. How are you feeling about Sulla and his performance today against this Philadelphia Eagles team?
Much better. We actually was trying to go for it on 4. We went for it on 2. We're seeing a lot more trust on this offense of trying to get the ball down the field. I also seen that, clock management still a little bit of a problem. You almost made a mistake again on half. I'm like you were saying, call the timeout. What are we doing? Why are we hurrying up? And there's only 4 seconds left into the halftime. Kick that field goal, and, we definitely did. And shout out to the kicker. We finally found our kicker too, man. Even though he doesn't really get too much love, but talk about consistency. That man has been consistent, and we finally got our kicker at the right time. And I already know everybody's talking about Aaron Rodgers. I'm shocked that he's actually walking around and everything like that as well too.
Yeah.
So, definitely time. I definitely can't wait to see what's going on with that, man.
Yeah.
We got a prize probably at the end of this year.
Yeah, listen, now I got to slide off, Val, before I let you go. Final question. Give me your offensive and defensive player of the game. Give me your offensive and defensive player of the game. Quickly.
Okay, so offensively, I'm gonna give it to Brees. Brees Hall / Garrett Wilson, Cole on offense. Then on defense, I'm gonna give it to probably I will say Quincy.
Mm-hmm.
Quincy, yeah, I'm gonna have to give it to Quincy. No. I'm gonna give it to Bryce Hall because it was a huge job for him as well too.
Okay.
But Quincy also did it as good as well too.
Okay. Listen,
Yep.
Val, this was a phenomenal call from you. I gotta slide off though.
Appreciate
Next time I have a
it,
show, I want to hear from you. All right, Val?
No doubt, man. Everybody like and subscribe to Joe, and anything he says at the end is a false allegation. Allegation.
Val, for those of you that do not know, Val be finding his way. It's not an illegal way to call in, but Val makes sure that his voice is heard early and often on this show. And he says that I am making false allegations against him. I am not. These allegations are very true. We'll keep getting to the lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is number. Call in after a huge Jets victory over the Philadelphia Eagles, 20-14, the first in Jets franchise history. Next, we're going to go to my guy, Ted. Ted, we're coming directly to you. Dwayne, Steve, 857. I'll come to you guys in a second. New callers, hold on. We'll get to everybody, but we got to get to Ted because he's up. Ted salutes. For those of you that do not know Ted, he's a savage. Savage! Damn, Ted is a savage. Ted, salutes to you. Big win today.
Hey, Joe.
Listen, big win today over the Eagles. No Sauce, no DJ Reed. Listen, boys got coached up. You had Craig James out there. You had Hall out there. You had Michael Carter out there. Give me your thoughts about what we saw from this Jets defense, able to perform at this type of level against a Super Bowl caliber Philadelphia Eagles offense. What were your thoughts about what the Jets were able to do? 4 takeaways, all that stuff. How are you feeling?
Hey, Joe. Awesome. It's an awesome win, Joe. Let me say this, Joe. A couple things.
Mm-hmm.
First touchdown for the Eagles, they stole. I'll be honest with you, Joe. Where's the angle that shows that he made it across the line for his knee went down?
Yeah.
Are we ever going to see that?
You know what's
Are we
crazy?
ever going to see that, Joe?
You know what's crazy, Ted?
Yeah.
And not to cut you off, because that is a wonderful point.
Go ahead, Joe.
What's crazy is when we were watching it live, because again, I'm a Jets fan through and through. We watching games live together, okay? They did an angle. It was kind of a high angle from behind the play. And you could see him clearly down. In my personal opinion, anybody that watched it, you can see that he is clearly down, and then you can see him extend his arm. And so at that point, I'm like, he's down. So where's the angle where it shows that he's clearly not down? Like, what is the call here?
Exactly.
How do you get – and again, we got to be careful, but the people in striped shirts that watch Jets games up close, very close, tend to make these calls to me, or tend to say things or do things out there that don't make sense to me, because that clearly was not a touchdown. And there were other calls as well. The block, the A.J. Brown catch. I'm just blown away. And give me your thoughts on that, Ted, because the people in striped shirts are questionable when it comes to us at this point. How are you feeling about that?
Hey, Joe, let me say a couple of things. So basically the A.J. Brown catch, I think they ruled it on the field of catch, and maybe they couldn't overrule that because there's not enough evidence. I don't know. I think it was 50-50. It could have been ruled either way. Joe, the defense, let me say this. Josh Allen saw ghosts. Patrick Mahomes saw ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
And now Jalen Hurts saw ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? We figure out a way to get these guys in these tight spots, and they can't do it. They can't do it. Jermaine Johnson, to me, was flying around making plays. He's the one that jogged the ball loose for Quinnen Williams' pick.
Yep.
He was making a lot of plays. Bryce Huff was making plays. The guys off the streets were making plays.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Joe's a total team effort, despite the fact that Zach Wilson was getting the crap kicked out of him because our offensive line couldn't. That defensive line was ferocious.
Mm-hmm.
We lost Pittman, though. That's really what hurt us.
Yeah.
But, Joe, to come out with that win, Joe, same as the Chief game. We hang around, we bog these teams down in the red zone, and the Eagles are not a very good red zone team.
Mm-hmm.
But we did it to the Chiefs. We bogged them down.
Mm-hmm.
We held them to score. They didn't score. They didn't score in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
And Joe, real quick, Joe. I know I'm a little jumping around. Can we stop with the gushing over Jalen Hurts or Mark Sanchez and these announcers? How great the Eagles are. How great the quarterback is. How they walk on water. Okay, Travis Kelce, Mahomes. Can we get over that already?
Yeah.
Taylor Swift,
Mm-hmm.
Give me a break.
Yeah.
Can you just call the game
Mm-hmm.
and say, hey, man, the Jets are balling. They're getting these turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Joe.
No, listen. Listen. I'm here to listen. We all watch these games, right? And it's actual, factual. Yeah. That's a great take. I'm tired of it as well. I'm tired of the Jets not playing, not getting the credit. Of course, we already know the people in striped shirts. We're not going to always get the correct calls. We already know that, right? But you watch them. Yep. Everyone, every sportscaster that does our show, the guy's supposed to be there. They're supposed to be talking about the game, and really, they only talk about the other team. Joe Buck is one of them too. Yep. He loves it. Oh, Patrick Mahomes, this guy. Oh, everybody that plays against us is great, and we're just scrubs and bums. That's how it works.
Exactly.
It's just it's ridiculous.
Exactly.
The commentary on our games are always so biased for the other football teams. Always. That's how it's always been. Yeah. Especially when we play those people up in New England. Even after the Tom Brady day. Oh, Mac Jones this, Mac Jones that. It's like the Jets are trash. But today, we proved that we can go toe-to-toe with anybody, okay? And if we didn't get that game stolen against Kansas City, we'd be talking about, hey, the Jets would have beat them as well, and we all know that. Now here we are with a Super Bowl contender, because that's what the Eagles are. I know that people are probably going to try to talk down about them now that we've beaten them, which shouldn't be happening. But guess what? We took care of business today, first time in franchise history. And I want to go somewhere else with you, because you talked about the Jets offense, which, was slow to produce. But in the end, they were able to punch it in, right, on that 8-yard line and take it in, right? So I think they got points off of 2 of our turnovers that they forced on defense. Give me your thoughts about what you saw from Zach Wilson today, because that's what I think is an important point as well. I feel like he played solid, and I thought we've seen so far some growth out of him this season. Now we're 3-3. That was one of the big questions the Jets are going to probably fall off the cart because of Zach Wilson. And I think that Zach Wilson has played solidly up until this point. Give me your analysis on him, and what are your thoughts about what you saw from him today against the Eagles?
Okay, Joe. One thing that you mentioned, the touchdown, the Eagles let him score.
Yeah.
It was blatantly obvious. I mean, that was blatantly obvious. So that was a smart move, actually. They were going to try to get the ball back and score a touchdown and try to win. Zach, there were a few times that I thought Zach could to avoid a sack, he should have been just throwing the thing out of bounds. But there were a lot of guys on top of him within a couple of seconds. So our line was, they have a ferocious pass rush.
Yes.
Even without Carter.
Yes.
So they came in balled. You're not going to block these guys. Yeah. Especially with, Tittman out. That's when we have Schweitzer in there. Zach was a gamer today. Mm-hmm. He didn't make the big mistake, which actually saved us. Mm-hmm. He could have just went back to old Zach and maybe threw a pick at some point and put us in a bad spot. He made some clutch plays. I think they went away a little bit went away too much in the run a little bit in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
They had success for the run. They probably should have stayed with it. I didn't understand, Joe, why didn't they didn't roll Zach out a little more. They did a little tiny bit in the first half, but in the second half he went straight back and he was running for his life half the time.
Well, I know that they did try some play action stuff against them. They did try some play action stuff.
Yep.
That big sack that Zach took was off of a play action pass. I thought he could have dumped that off, but honestly, that guy, they were sniffing those play action passes out left and right. So just getting him outside, and again, this is a Philadelphia Eagles team, and you were bringing this up. They have a ferocious pass rush, even without Jalen Carter there. I think they had 70 sacks in 2022. Like this is
Yes.
not a joke
Yes.
of a football team at all when we're talking about rushing the passer, and they do it from a cumulative perspective. They have a bunch of guys that show up and show out. I'm talking, we all know Graham, even without Carter, Graham, Fletcher. Like there's so many guys that have Josh Sweat.
Yep.
They have so many guys that they can bring after you, and so that's what they do.
Reddick.
Yeah, and Reddick,
Yep.
Hassan Reddick as
Yep.
well. So the getting him outside would have been a great idea if they tried that, and it just was not working. And I think that they went to that drop back because it was like, look, we got to try to, just keep him in the pocket, have him make plays in the pocket, and he did. That big throw to Garrett Wilson was phenomenal.
Mhm.
I thought that Garrett Wilson played very well today as well, and even Garrett Wilson during that last offensive drive before we got the interception, the one that
Yeah.
stalled. He was on the sidelines because he had gotten that ankle injury, and I think that hurt us as well. But
Oh yeah,
like
he
you were
played
saying,
hurt.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think that Zach, I think played well today. He didn't kill us. He went out there. He was patient with the ball.
Yeah.
He took what was there. He made the big throws when he could. But like you said, the offensive
Yeah.
line was really just all over the place, scratch and scratch, especially after Titman went out. Now, before I let you go, Ted,
Yeah.
give me your thoughts about Robert
Yeah.
Saleh and the performance of this Jets coaching staff. There were people talking about firing
God.
him at one point. Give me your thoughts about Robert Saleh and what you saw from him today. You know it's true. We sitting here watching the game. You know it's true. Give me your thoughts.
Joe, let me say this. Last year I thought we were on our way, but after the first few games that I saw, despite the Dallas game, because the Dallas game, our offensive line was in shambles. After that we kind of put it together, except for the New England game. But we played the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
And the defensive mastery of clamping down on these teams and periodically blitzing. A couple of times today, they spied Hurts and they rushed 3,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Then they blitzed him a few times. I mean, they mixed it up enough to confuse him. That's how you got to do it, Joe, with these great quarterbacks. And now our schedule lightens up. So, Joe, we can get healthy. We played without any starting corners,
Mm-hmm.
and somehow we won.
Yeah.
I mean, it was mastery, Joe.
Yeah.
Joe, masterful coaching
Yeah.
on the defensive side.
Yeah.
Let's say that. I can't say anything more than that, Joe.
Yeah. Now,
I can't say anything more than that. Go
before
ahead.
I let you go, Ted, give me your offensive and defensive MVP
Mhm.
for the game quickly.
Offensive MVP, I don't think I have one.
I mean, you could say Brees.
I
I
really
thought
don't.
that Brees.
I'm going to try to figure one out.
Yeah, I think the Brees
Yeah.
held us. Brees held us, together for quite a bit. Even Garrett Wilson, you could say him. Garrett
He did.
Wilson made some plays
He did.
today. He did.
Yeah. Yeah, we kind of mixed it up. But I would probably have to go with Jermaine Johnson. He was all over the field, Joe.
Okay.
That guy is all
Yep.
over the field,
Yep.
making tackles left and right, stripping the ball out, sacking,
Mhm.
harassing. There was a play, Joe, when he rushed a passer, and I don't know if they threw a screen pass, and he was down the field 10 yards and made the tackle.
Mhm.
That guy's all over the field
Yeah.
making plays. That guy's a little under the radar. I think he's finally going to get his recognition, Joe.
Yeah.
Great win, Joe. Amazing win, Joe.
Absolutely. Listen, Ted, I got to slide
Oh.
off. Next time I have a show, I want to hear from you, all right?
All right, Joe. Enjoy the win, Joe.
Absolutely. You have a good one. Listen, be patient. We're getting to everybody, okay? Even new callers, hold on. We are sliding down these lines, and we're going to get to everybody and talk to everybody again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking all callers, okay? We're going to get to everybody. A lot of people shocked about what we saw today out of the secondary without Sauce, without DJ Reed, and without Echols. We call guys up from the practice squad, but keep in mind, this is something that we've seen out of Robert Saleh before. I'm on the West Coast. I told y'all. Remember when the Niners had a ton of injuries, right? And that defense was still near the top of the league? It was because Saleh understands how to utilize players and put them in the correct positions to have them make plays. Ton of guys that people are throwing away. They thought they were bums. They wouldn't get it done. And he was able to utilize these guys. And when the Niners had those injuries, there were guys stepping into spots, and he was still able to get the best out of them. We'll keep getting to these lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking all callers next I'm going to my guy, Dwayne. Dwayne, I'm coming directly to you. Steve, Chris, G, other callers as well. We'll get to you guys in a second. Hold on. Okay, we got to get to Dwayne. For those of you that do not know, that man, Dwayne, he's a savage. Savage! Dwayne salutes. Listen, Dwayne, big win today over the Eagles. The Jets get 20-14. Jets defense showed up and showed out. Jets offense did just enough. How do you feel about this victory, man?
Joe, listen.
You sound far away. You sound far away, Dwayne. Fix your headset. I don't know what's going on. Fix your headset. You're sounding far away.
I'm on my Jamaican phone.
All right. Well,
you know
come
what I'm
on.
saying? Does it sound better?
Oh, that sounds way better. Talk
It
to
sounds
me.
better. Okay, listen. Mind that, bro. This was like 4 beef patties to get this phone. But nonetheless, bro, yo, this defense, we got to take it all. We got to take a lot of things back. We got to take a lot of things back that we said about Robert Saleh. We're quick to fire people. We're quick to move on. And this team took some time to build. And I say took some time to build because if we're beating teams like the Eagles, this team is better than the record shows.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Undefeated, MVP runner-up, some say a controversial call away from being Super Bowl champs. You just beat them. You know what I mean? And my issue is with the team. And even though it's a win, I'm going to have an issue where it's deserved. This offense is decent enough to win a game.
Mm-hmm.
But the mistakes are the problem. We have a play caller that can keep us in a game, sometimes help win the game. But the mistakes are ruining what this defense is doing. We have to shore up on the mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing we have to do.
Yeah.
If we're going to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, and I hear what you're saying, right? You look at, I think the mistakes you're talking about, the offensive penalties killed us, right? The holding calls killed us down the stretch. I do think that, and again, I bring up that Allen Lazard blocking penalties because that killed a drive that I thought was really going to end with us getting into the end zone. I thought that was a horrible call. I thought that was a horrific call. That should have never been called. And that was a big catch again by Garrett Wilson as he was scampering out. And I think that we would have probably ended up with points there. But going back to what you were talking about Coach Saleh and what he was able to do, and I spoke about this earlier, there was a lot of Jets fans screaming for him to be fired, like now. And I don't understand why. I don't think that Saleh has been bad. I think he's been a solid coach. I think that a lot of people are losing sight about what this season has turned into since the injury of Aaron Rodgers, right? Zach Wilson was not supposed to be seen this season. He wasn't. This was a season where he was supposed to sit back and learn from the guy that is literally one of the greatest to ever do it. That's his idol, as he goes out there and leads the New York Jets offense and gives us, just classic Aaron Rodgers play and lifts the offense enough to really allow this defense to go full-blown crazy mode, to really unload on you. That's what this season was supposed to be about. But when you look at what's happened is the adjustments have been made because now Zach is in there and he's the guy that they've gone forward with. And we've seen Zach Wilson even grow within this situation, right? We've seen Zach Wilson was in prime time against Patrick Mahomes and outdueled him. Robert Saleh is the head coach when that happened. Zach Wilson, after Aaron Rodgers went down, Zach Wilson went out there and beat the Buffalo Bills. Robert Saleh was the head coach for that. If you look at what we saw here today, was Zach Wilson, was he Patrick Mahomes today? No. But there was a lot of things moving and shaking about that. But guess what? He was just good enough. He played well enough within the scheme to continue to put us in a position to take this game like we did. When you look at what we saw today, where this Jets defense, and we know that Saleh is the overall guy, right? He coaches, he's the business management guy, but we know he has a hand in the Jets defense. We all know that. This Jets defense was down Reed and Sauce against Smith and A.J. Brown. Before this game, people said the Jets were going to get blown out. You don't have Reed, you don't have Sauce, you don't have Eccles. Your defense is going to get crushed and destroyed. Jalen Hurts is going to have 400 yards rushing on y'all. You guys are done. You're finished. He called guys up from the practice squad and got them in there. They made plays. Everybody's yelling about Bryce Hall. I used to back Bryce Hall heavy. Then he started getting deactivated. You never heard from him again. Jets fans at one point were talking about cutting him and getting him off the roster coming into this last season. Get him up out of here. Give his roster spot to somebody else. That guy has made play after play because he's been put in position. I think that Robert Saleh has played phenomenal. You're not going to play perfect, and I hear your point, Dwayne, but people also have to keep in mind that this is a Philadelphia Eagles defense that had 70 sacks. 70 just a year ago.
Right.
This is a phenomenal defense. This is one of the top defenses in the league. Things don't come easy against them at all. But I think what we saw out of this game today, what we saw out of Coach Saleh, what we saw in this team going out there and be able to put things together, put the blocks together, get those 4 takeaways, just keep chugging, keep pushing, even when the clock was ticking down, getting Jalen Hurts to make that critical mistake, capitalizing on that. What we saw today was unbelievable. Give me your thoughts. Give me your thoughts on that, Dwayne.
No. It's like I said, Saleh is. Listen. Give me a second to think. I think Saleh is the best coach we've had in at least 10 years.
Whoa, okay.
It's not a stretch to say that. It's not a stretch to say that. I love Rex, but Rex didn't put together a offense the way this offense is playing, and I'm sorry, I don't think he put together a defense the way this defense is playing.
I don't know about that, but go ahead. Go ahead.
The reason I say that, of course, he had the yards, but the way he had to trump up pressure is what failed the Jets a lot of times, right? This offense is a lot more solid, and it has a lot to do with the roster moves. But this team has enough to compete with. If we're talking about what we just did to the Eagles, we have enough to compete with anybody except maybe the top 2 teams in the league. Maybe, and I'm talking about San Francisco. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, maybe the Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think the Jets under Rex Ryan were ever in that spot.
Well, I'm not going to say it.
Smacked by the Steelers.
Well, here's the deal, though.
We got smacked by the Steelers.
Yeah, and I don't mean to cut you off, Dwayne. Rex took us to 2 AFC championships back to back. Okay, you can't argue with results, and I hear what you're saying, and I'm excited. I'm excited about Saleh, and I think he's a phenomenal coach. But trying to compare those teams to what we're doing right now is tough, especially when you see the results. 2 AFC championships back to back with Rex, back to back. You could talk about the offense, whatever. They had a ground and pound philosophy, and that was winning them games, and they did what it took. And they went in there against some really good offensive teams and put them to bed on their way to the AFC Championship. So I hear what you're saying, but I want to stick to what we're doing here, right? And I hear what you're saying. Everything's good. The coaching is solid. I think the New York Jets should be 4-3 again. We got a game stolen from us against the Kansas City Chiefs. But when you look at the couple other games, that Cowboys game, there were some calls. If it goes our way, we get a W there too, right? But when you look at the situation, New York Jets are 3-3 at this point. And I think that we're feeling good and we're feeling solid. And again, we just got a big victory over a Philadelphia Eagles team. Now, I want to go to the offensive side of the ball with you. Zach Wilson, I thought played well enough. I thought he looked solid out there. Give me your assessment of him up until this point. That's my final question for you.
Zach. To me, I give him the offensive MVP this game.
Wow. Okay.
Under that type of pressure, I thought a pick was coming. I thought he was gonna make a lot less plays. He made plays with his feet. He made plays with his arms. He was poised. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I give him the offensive MVP, because nobody else on the team faced this kind of pressure that Zach was facing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There was really solid play calling, and he was prepared for this game. I think they should have ran some counters to Hassan Reddick's side a few times.
Yeah.
And I think they need to switch. They need to switch up some of some what's this guy's name? I'm sorry. Garrett Wilson's deep balls
Mm-hmm.
and jump balls. They got to switch it up and give those to my man. Help me.
Mecole Hardman or Alan
So
Lazard?
this guy from the Packers. Alan
Lazard, yeah.
We have to give some of those jump balls to him.
Mhm.
We got to take because he's not making those jump ball catches. I'm sorry, he's too small.
Yeah.
He has hops, but he kind of gets pushed out of bounds.
Mhm.
But other than that, this offense, it just has to make some tweaks,
Mhm.
and it'll be a decent offense. And that's something I can't say since 2015.
Yeah. No,
You know what
listen.
I'm saying? So that's why that's what I'm saying about Salah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
No, listen,
You know what
I
I'm
hear
saying?
you.
So,
I hear you.
yeah.
So before I let you go, Dwayne, because we got callers, give me your offensive MVP and your defensive MVP quickly.
Like I said, Zach under the pressure, I have to give him offensive MVP. Defensive MVP, I'm going to say it until he stops. It's Bryce Huff. Until
Okay.
he stops doing what he's doing,
Okay.
until he stops pressuring these quarterbacks,
Mhm.
both on bull rush and on the outside, speed rush, I got to give it to him. And I got to give one more MVP, and I got to give it to Thomas Morstead. I got to
Okay.
give Thomas Morstead his credit all the time. This guy stayed putting these guys against, they're back against the goal line, putting them in good position. This is what's winning this game. This special teams,
Mhm.
solid offense, and an amazing defense. This defense is amazing. 3 prime-time games.
Yeah.
We're getting 3 interceptions apiece
Yeah.
from 3 Super Bowl basically quarterbacks.
Yeah.
This team has got places to go. They got places to go. I don't want to hear anything else.
Yeah. Listen, I want to thank you for calling in, Dwayne. I got to slide off. Next time I have a show, I want to hear from you, all right? And get your lines together, man.
Yes. Listen, I've got to go get one from Ecuador. I'll get a phone from Ecuador. I'm international.
Do what you got to do, man. Thank you for calling in, my friend. Next
Do
time I
what
have a
I
show,
gotta
I
do.
want to hear from you.
All right, man.
All right.
Thanks, Joe.
Wayne calling in. Love his takes. Got to get his phone together, man. Love his takes, though. We're keep getting to these lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in next. I'm going to go to my guy, Chris. Chris, I'm coming directly to you. Steve, you'll be next. G, I see you in the building. You'll come up too. All right? Then new callers, we'll get to you in a second. But we got to get to Chris. For those of you that do not know Chris, he's a savage. Savage!
Yeah.
Chris, boy, oh boy, we got a big win here over the Philadelphia Eagles, 20-14. Man, there's been a lot of talk about the Jets defense, who I have been talking about as phenomenal. They played great against the Kansas City Chiefs. They've been looking really good. All right. Now that they step out against Philly and they get 4 turnovers, 3 interceptions, a fumble. A lot of people talking about, Jermaine Johnson and Bryce Hall. For me, Quincy Williams has been unbelievable. He's playing some of the best linebacker in the league. Give me your thoughts on what you saw from this Jets defense in this victory over the Eagles.
Oh man, I'm excited. I was excited about the game. I told you about Bryce Hall, and you were last show we were talking about Bryce Hall, and I told you that he can hold his own with anybody. He was from watching him from Virginia, and I knew he was a good cornerback, and he played himself into the NFL this year. So I'm very happy for that guy. This defense is comprised very deep. I could see that we had corners. I wasn't worried about going against these 2 elite receivers because I've seen in preseason that we were pretty deep in cornerback, so I wasn't worried as much as everybody else going against these guys. So shout out to the Jets and their defense and Robert Saleh and the great game plan that he did. So any given Sunday, right?
Yeah. No, yeah. Listen, I'm telling you, going into this game without Sauce and Reed, I was a little concerned. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Everybody knows I do content, and I talked about how, man, this Jets defense, they're gonna have to make adjustments. No Reed, no Sauce, no Eccles. You're not playing without basically 2 of your top corners against an offense that is loaded at pass catcher. You got A.J. Brown, you got Smith. These guys roll again. Goddard, all those guys, and the Jets defense stepped up and showed out. You know, they showed up and showed out. They made plays. They got the turnovers.
Mhm.
They got the ball back when necessary in crunch times. They got after Hurts. He was very slippery in this game, though. I will say that. He did get away from a lot of sack attempts. There was one play
Yeah.
to start the game where I think it was Michael Carter II was coming in on a blitz, had him. Had him, and then he missed him, and then he was trying to get back after. Yeah, he was trying to get back after him, and then he stiff armed him. Jalen Hurts is stiff arming him while running, and then threw a ball to AJ Brown for a first down. It was like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. But the Jets defense was phenomenal today. They did work. And like I said, Quincy Williams, I thought was phenomenal. Quentin Williams came up with a big play, interception. Interception. Tony Adams had an interception. Like, it was unbelievable what we saw today and how they put things together. And I want to get your thoughts on this, man, because there's been a lot of talk surrounding Robert Saleh. Even a lot of people saying that we should fire him at one point. Before the game, a lot of people were screaming, fire Robert Saleh. What are your thoughts on that? And also, what are your thoughts and your analysis on what he was able to do today against the Eagles, him and the other coaching staff?
I mean, we Jet fans, I mean, we always scream and fire the coach, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, every year we scream and fire the coach. We have a good coach. I mean, we just, unfortunately, we had that injury with Aaron Rodgers. I mean, people want to point their frustration at something, and how can you call that? I mean, to go down the first or second play of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had a problem with him. I just seen the team, and now the team's evolved. We have a good defense. I mean, people forget Adam Gase. I mean, sometimes I've been watching you for years, and you you going crazy about Adam Gase. I mean, listen. I mean, anything's better than that guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if you look at the landscape of the teams and what's going, everyone's excited about all these high-powered offenses, but defense wins championships, right? So everybody wants this high-flying offense like Miami, and but Miami lost to the Bills. So you got to have a defense out there that can actually win games. So I mean, I tell people, like, yes, we want a great offense and function and score points, but if you try to win a championship, you got to have defense. I think Saleh's the guy. He can see, the thing about Robert Saleh is he makes guys want to play for him, and he makes guys overperform.
Yes,
and that's the difference between him. And he makes guys overperform. He gets the best out of his players. That's what supposedly the guy in New England was great at. But you're getting guys to reach beyond. Rex was good at that for a time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's the thing where that's the coach. So I never had a problem with the coach. It's just the Jet fans. We just been fire the coaches every 2 years or something.
I just listen. I didn't understand it, and I don't understand it. I think that a lot of people are trying to rush things, and I think a lot of people are losing kind of the grip on reality. Okay, there's a lot of things going into the season. We were excited. Saleh and the staff clearly have had to make an adjustment, and I think that they've made a very solid adjustment. Without Aaron Rodgers, okay? Like, let's be serious. Everything here was built.
Yeah.
Guys were brought in from Lazard to all these other moves. A lot of these things were to make Aaron Rodgers even more comfortable within the situation here. Well, we know Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles. Now we're going forward with Zach Wilson. Before, we were probably supposed to see him. And he's been able to go out there and flourish and do just enough in everything to not kill the Jets. He's been playing well, and we're seeing him grow here, even under the staff. And like you said as well, the thing, and it was a masterful take there, what Robert Saleh has been able to do with guys. Again, we were without Sauce, we were without Reed coming into this game, and Eccles. Those guys are done. He was able to call guys up and get the most out of guys like Bryce Hall, right? Who a lot of people were talking about, we don't really know, he hasn't been playing. Get the most out of guys, put them in positions to go out there and overachieve. We've seen Bryce get an interception in the past 2 games. He's been phenomenal. We saw Craig James going out there. He was making plays, knocking balls away. We're seeing guys go out there. Guys are called up from the street, going out there and handling business on our defense against a top-flight offense. Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Smith, all these guys. These guys are not some bums. No, this is a team that's been in the Super Bowl. Let's be serious, right? So it's like it's crazy. It's crazy. Now, my final question for you before I let you go, Chris. There's people in striped shirts that really don't like the Jets. We don't have to talk about, specifics.
Yeah.
But there's people in striped shirts that be making some crazy decisions out there on the field. Give me your thoughts about some of these awful, questionable calls that we keep seeing go against the New York Jets. What are your thoughts on that?
The rest, I was looking at a game before with the 49ers and the Browns, and there was a hit on Elijah Moore, and I was like, what's going on? I think it's a league thing, but against the Jets, I'm like, it's weird, man. Some of these guys need to, really reevaluate themselves, and I don't know. But Joe, before I go, where's this team go? I'm very confused about this team. Where do we go? Like, do we go all in? Like, do we go into the trade deadline and get other players, or do we stand pat? I'm confused about this team. It's weird.
I mean, for me, right? If there's some attractive, deals out there, somebody, maybe an offensive lineman that can come in here and help you, maybe you make a move depending on how much capital you have to give up, right? And I think a lot of people are losing sight on that as well. The New York Jets are going to have to give up, I think, at least their second-round pick because Aaron Rodgers went down. But there's a lot of question marks going forward as well, which, again, will be fleshed out because we'll see, the full body of work. So we'll have a better way to really analyze this football team once the season is over. But there's going to be a lot of questions coming, especially along that offensive line coming this next offseason. There's questions about Mekhi Becton, whether they're going to be able to bring him back. We all know about that. No fifth-year option. So after this year, if they don't franchise him, he can walk. There's questions about center as well. We'll see what happens with Tippmann. Tippmann went down today. We'll see, what's going on with him. There's questions at guard, right guard, maybe left guard too as well with Tomlinson. ATV, we'll see when we get him back. Are they going to keep him at right tackle? So there's questions all the way around. But I don't think, again, when you look at what we've been able to do just with this team, it's not like we're already kind of all in. Aaron Rodgers went down. That was all in. But we have the pieces to compete in this league. We were, the refs, the people with striped shirts had to give the Chiefs 40 calls to beat us. That's not, I'm not making that up. That's true. They had to get them 40 calls to beat us.
Right.
Okay? Today against the Eagles, they even got some help from the people with the striped shirts, and we still beat them. Right. So here we are beating teams that are Super Bowl contenders, and they're not coming in here joking. They're playing full steam.
Right? You're right.
Yeah, they're playing full steam against us. It's not a joke. It's not a trap game. They coming in for real deal. We're playing prime time, and we're still able to hang in there and beat these teams and go in there and take care of business our way. So I think we're all right. We'll see again what happens as we continue going forward. But I'm excited about what I see out the New York Jets in the fight. Now, before I let you go, Chris, quickly, give me your offensive and defensive MVP of the game.
Oh, the defensive MVP is I think, Jermaine Johnson, causing havoc up front, making it uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. And then I think the offensive MVP, Garrett Wilson.
Okay. Listen, Chris, I want to thank you for calling in. Next time I have a show, I want to listen. I want to hear from you, man. Gonna keep on sliding, man. We got calls we're gonna get to, and we're gonna get to everybody. 515-602-9639. Again, 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. Next, I'm gonna go to my guy Steve, man. We're coming directly to Steve. G, we'll be coming to you next. New callers, hold on. We'll get to everybody. Steve, we're getting to Steve. For those of you that do not know Steve, he's a savage. Savage. Yeah. Also, for those of you that do not know, Steve is also a sleeper. Yeah. Last time we had a show, Steve called in and he was snoozing. A lot of Z's on Steve's side. Hopefully he's awake today because the New York Jets have woke everybody around the league up with a big victory over the Philadelphia Eagles, 20-14, the first victory we've had over the Eagles in our franchise history. Steve, how are you feeling after this Jets victory?
Hey, Joe. Well, first of all, thank you again for having me on your show. I know it's been for a while since we've spoken. Obviously, things have been going on with me since the last time we spoke. But let me tell you something, Joe. This has to be, in my opinion, one of the biggest wins we have ever had in New York Jets franchise history. My God, we just defeated a team that was an NFC championship contender.
Yeah.
We just beat a team that we had a 12-game losing streak against. We finally beat this team for the first time ever in franchise history. And let me tell you something, Joe. If you're a Jets fan right now, you got to be fired up after this game, after this win.
Yeah, you do, especially when you look at what we were able to do, right? We were coming in depleted along our secondary. Sauce out, DJ Reed out, right? We got a lot of things moving and shaking around our secondary, man. A lot of people coming into this game thought we were going to get scorched. They thought we were going to get cooked, okay? But Sulla and his staff were able to bring guys up, right? We saw Craig James get brought up. We saw Bryce Hall, step into the role as our number one. We even saw Michael Carter get moved around. He was on the outside from time to time. Give me your thoughts about what you saw from our defense and our secondary to be able to go out there and play, even depleted, man.
Let me tell you, the defense was phenomenal today. And I'm just going to say this right now. That first touchdown that the Eagles ended up scoring, where it showed like where the referees decided to actually give him the touchdown, it was just absolutely crazy. I mean, listen, I understand that, yes, that Jalen Hurts did break the plane and did get the ball over the line, but his knee was clearly, I looked at the play, his knee was clearly down at the 1 yard line. His knee went down first before he went over the ball. And let me tell you something, the NFL, these referees are still freaking garbage to this day. They, what it is, Joe?
Yeah,
they want us to lose. The NFL wants us to lose. They want us to lose. Well, guess what happened? You know who lost this game for Philly tonight? It was their quarterback. Everyone was all saying that, Jalen Hurts, he's an MVP quarterback. You know what happened today? He turned the ball over 3 times today against this Jets defense. 3 times against this Jets defense. And the last pass, the interception he threw to Adams, Joe, I have no idea what just happened. But you know who gave us hope for this win? It was God. God gave us this win when Jalen Hurts threw that interception.
Yo, Steve is talking that talk. All right, I'm feeling it. Yeah. I know that Hurts was, targeting that tight end. He was trying to get it in. There was pressure coming his way, and he decided, I'm going to try to chuck that thing up. And Adam stepped right in front of it. What a play. Made there on the interception. But the Jets defense just played through all kinds of crap and nonsense. That A.J. Brown catch, that wasn't a catch, okay? He was still trying to secure the football, going out of bounds.
Yeah, that was another thing, too.
That was garbage.
That wasn't a catch at all.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, that wasn't a catch at all. That wasn't a catch. Go ahead, Steve.
But, Joe, then here was the thing, though. Then on the very next play, Breece Hall ends up scoring a touchdown. But I know a lot of people were saying this. I mean, hey, listen, Salah, I bet, trusted, and you know what? Salah ended up trusting that defense. But I'll tell you something right now. What a game! What a performance also too by Breece Hall.
Yeah.
All in this game. I mean, obviously Breece Hall didn't get too many touches, but man, did he have himself a great game too.
Yeah.
Now I wanted to talk a little bit about Zach Wilson.
Go ahead. That's where I was going next. Talk to me.
I thought Zach Wilson played a good game. He wasn't perfect. He wasn't fantastic, but he played a good game. He played a game for us to win.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, the offense still needs work.
Mm-hmm.
And now going into this bye week, we need to get work. The offensive line has to work more together on pressuring Wilson. I mean, listen, the Eagles defense played well in this game too today, because the Eagles defense, they got to Zach Wilson 5 times in this game on sacks.
Yes, they did.
And the offensive line has to do a better job at protecting the player. Obviously, we'll see what happens with the injury with Pittman. Hopefully Pittman's injury is not too serious. Luckily, we got the bye week so he can rest.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, Joe, Zach's performance today, obviously, listen, there were times where Zach did make crucial mistakes. Like on the play where we had the ball in the red zone,
mm-hmm.
he ended up taking that 12-yard sack.
Yes.
You can't take that 12-yard sack.
No.
On that play, he has to throw the ball away.
Mm-hmm.
You got to throw the ball away on that play, because if you throw that ball away, you have a better chance of getting a touchdown. And that's what the Jets offense has to do going forward, going after when they come back from the bye week. When we get in the red zone, we got to get touchdowns. We can't just rely on kicking field goals. Thank freaking God, Joe, we have a kicker in Greg Zuerlein.
Talk about it.
Because if it wasn't for Greg Zuerlein, Joe,
yeah.
we would not be in these games
yeah.
and winning.
Yeah.
So, all right, Joe.
Now, hold on, Steve. Hold on, Steve. He was, like you said, and that's a great point. I've been waiting for somebody to bring it up. He was 4 for 4 today. His longest was a 43-yard kick that we thought wasn't good, but it actually was, okay? And they gave it to him. Greg Zuerlein has been looking very good for us. And again, that's the importance of special teams and having a solid kicker, okay? That's the importance.
How about the punter?
Yes, Morstead as well, yeah. Great punting, pinning guys deep, allowing our defense to really, pin their ears back and take off, because it's going to be tough for you to get solid field position with the type of punter that we have.
Our special teams was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Even without Justin Hardy in this game, which I know Justin Hardy is going to have to miss some time.
Yeah.
But I wish Justin Hardy a quick and healthy recovery, and I know he will be back at some point later in the season.
Mm-hmm.
But let me tell you something. That special team show was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal today in that game. And by the way, the Allen Lazard call was bullcrap.
Yeah.
You want to talk about bad penalties? That Allen Lazard call was bullcrap.
Okay.
That was the cleanest block I ever saw. And you know what the referees are like? Nope, that's unnecessary roughness. Give me a goddamn break.
Yeah. Oh, well, slow down, Steve. Calm down now. You fired up. I don't want you to bust the blood vessel, all right? Slow down. Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of referees with these striped shirts that, the people in striped shirts, I know referees be around all over the place, but there's people in striped shirts make a lot of bad calls. Like you said, the Allen Lazard block, I thought that was ridiculous. The A.J. Brown catch, the first touchdown that the Eagles scored with Jalen Hurts, I thought that was ridiculous. Like, there was some crazy stuff. Now, Steve, you have had a call. Before I let you go, give me your offensive, defensive MVP of the game.
Well, I'm going to also give it an MVP to the special teams as well. The first, for the special teams MVP, I have to give it to Greg Zuerlein.
Okay.
Zuerlein came through once again and got us the field goals that he needed.
Okay.
For the offensive MVP, I'm going to give it to Breece Hall. Breece Hall had a great game, and it's great to have him back.
Mm-hmm.
And on the defensive MVP, Joe, you're going to be shocked when I say this to you. I am giving the defensive MVP to the whole entire defense. That's who I'm giving the defensive MVP, to the whole entire defense. And by the way, for new callers on this show, you call in cursing on the show, Joe's going to get you out of here fast.
Yeah.
When he is talking fast, he's talking fast. Faster than the Philadelphia Eagles had 4 turnovers against the Jets today.
Oh, that was fast. What a call from you, Steve. Thank you, man. Yeah. Steve coming in with a call. He was hype. I loved what he brought to the table. He didn't curse. All right, he didn't curse. I had to slow him down. I thought he was going to bust a blood vessel. All right, slow down. He didn't curse, though. All right? I like that. We're going to keep getting to these lines. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking on callers. Next! Going to my guy, G. We're going to GVH. I want to hear from him. For those of you who do not know G, he's a savage. Savage! G, brother, we in the building, okay? Listen, Jets get a W, 20-14. We beat a Philadelphia Eagles team that's a Super Bowl contender. A lot of people think they'll end up there. We were down a lot of corners. We know Sauce, Reed, Eccles, Steve brought up, and as well, I should have talked about this a little bit earlier. Justin Hardy is out as well. He's dealing with a hamstring. I think he's going to be out possibly 4 to 6 weeks. That was the report or diagnosis. It could change. But we were missing a lot in our secondary. We were able to call some guys up. Craig James. We put in, Bryce Hall. He played well again. Michael Carter was on the outside. A lot of things moving and shaking within the defense. And we still saw this defense come out, give a dominant performance. 4 takeaways in this victory here against the Philadelphia Eagles. Give me your thoughts, what you saw from the defensive side of the Jets in this game, in this win.
No doubt. You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, cool. Yeah, no, sometimes I don't come through too well. Wow, yeah, no, first off, shout out to Steve on that call. That was fire. But yeah, now that defense though, like I tell you, like, and I think this with like every, quarterback that's like a running quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I always say I'm hollering at the TV like that's a running back, not a quarterback, because like we really made him look like I'd rather run this ball.
Mm-hmm.
They came through. They did what they needed to do on the rush, and just made life difficult. But they didn't just do it to him; they've been doing it to everybody, and that's what I think. There's breakdowns that happen, but I think if this weekend didn't prove it to you, with like our 4th and 5th and 12th string, cornerbacks playing, I don't know what will, because that defense just came through and just made this dude made Hurts like uncomfortable. Like, I gotta run it. I gotta run it. And obviously, AJ Brown, we knew AJ Brown was going to blow up. I was thankful for all the Smith drops. Thank you very much, Mr. Smith.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, AJ Brown came through, but still the defense, I mean, they showed up, and they showed up with all that missing on the cornerbacks. And I think that, that's credit to the coaching staff, but that's also credit to who they have on the squad. I mean, the Tony Adams of the world, I heard you ask other callers or things such who you think is the defense, or defensive MVP.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to say, I know it was the last play, but I love me some Tony Adams. Like, he took bad angles in the last few games, whatever have you. But to be right there, right when I was just saying, we need a pick six. I mean, it wasn't pick six, but it was close. And I'm like, that's what we needed, like right there. Like, So, yeah, for everybody, I mean, when you think about it, and I'll just run through some stats with you, like Joe Burrow, 185 yards, interception, and a win. P.J. Walker, 192 yards, and a win. Zach Wilson, 186 yards, and a win. So defenses will show up. What do you do as a quarterback? What do you do to come through, to win? And I think we did just enough to win, for the first time in 12 meetings or whatever happened. So, so, yeah, that's what I think about the defense and the overall. I appreciate your being on, this evening, doing your thing and speaking to the Savages and things like that. But man, that was a good win.
No, listen,
a good win.
Listen,
I like
G,
that.
Listen, G, and you're bringing some fire takes. This is a phenomenal call you're talking about, and that's where I wanted to go with you as well, because we know the defense put on today. They were unbelievable. But there's been a lot of talk about Zach Wilson, right? Ever since Aaron Rodgers went down, which we'll see, he was out there during the pregame throwing balls around with no crutches on. So we'll see what happens as he continues to heal up from his situation. I've been talking about it. I don't want to see him come back too soon. I want to make sure he's 2,000, 3,000% ready before he puts that jersey on and is out there in live game action. But we'll see what happens, right? But there's been a lot of talk about Zach Wilson and who he is or who he's going to become. Now the New York Jets are sitting here at 3-3. Honestly, we should probably be 4 and 2 because we got robbed against Kansas City in a game where Zach Wilson completely outdueled Patrick Mahomes. We've seen Zach come in and just continue to get better gradually every single week. Go out there and do just enough. In this game, I thought that he played well, even with the issues up front along the offensive line that struggled, at times, particularly on that right side. Max Mitchell struggling, especially when Tippmann went out. We saw, Schweitzer struggle at times. There was penalties along, that side of the offensive line as well, holding calls and stuff like that. We saw Zach Wilson step up and make throws, though. Hit Garrett Wilson. He hit Allen Lazard. He was, Breece Hall, I think, had 54 yards catching the football. Like, he was continuing to try to put this offense in great positions. And I thought that he played solidly, even though a lot of people would just look at the numbers and be like, well, he didn't throw for 300. Give me your thoughts about what you see from Zach Wilson and how you felt like he played in this Philadelphia Eagles football game.
My man, I thank you for setting me up with that. That's why. I took notes. I was like, let me lay it out. Joe Burrow, like these cats, like everyone is just like amazing quarterbacks, and they are amazing quarterbacks. They threw for under 200 yards. So did our quarterback. But you know what? He did what he needed to do. And so by naming starters, if you put in your backup, and that's what Zach is right now. Forget, draft pick. Everyone's like, oh, but he was a second-round draft. He's our backup, and he was able to do this against the Philly defense. I get it. Jalen Carter fell into their lap, and he's out today. But forget it. Like, they still got a good defense, and he was able to do that. I'm not singing praises and like, oh, look, I'm a Zach truther. What I'm saying is he did what he needed to do within the confines, and you know what? As they say, offense, sells whatever ticket, and defense wins championships. And so if he's going to come through and just give us that, and, whatever, it's the 7th, ranked, Jets in the playoffs, wishful thinking. But, like we're there, you get into the tournament and you're in. Now, let me just back up and just say we're here. Go back to what you said. Like, he did just enough. Like, did he look, there's no turnovers. There haven't been turnovers in a minute. Like he's doing what he needs to do. And we got to be pleased for that, considering that what we got drop passes by Lazard, this time the third. And, so again, I don't want, any of the callers or people off to the side, like to be like, oh, this guy loves Zach. Look, he did what he needed to do. And in today's NFL, you do that, and you come through and you win the games that you're supposed to win. This is not a game we're supposed to win when we're down as much as we are. And boom, we do that, and so I'm happy with that. I mean, you can't take nothing away from what it is that they did. And did I wish they would have called more plays to different people? For sure, but it is what it is, and and that's why you got other parts of the team, such as special teams, such as Greg the Leg and Morstead, and the Wolf, Irv Charles, we played a complete game, and that's what you have to do against people that were runner-up in the in the Super Bowl and things of such. So, I'm not ready, to hurt this guy. He's in his third year. It is, as much as I'm just like, oh, he's not the answer, but he's doing what he needs to do. And when you got Brock Purdy, coming up short, against, a Cleveland team without their starting, quarterback, you got, so much going on in the NFL. It just shows that, hey, as they say, any given Sunday, like, I'll be honest, I thought they were going to put like a 40 burger on us or whatever, because we didn't have our cornerbacks in there. But, that just shows, what this team is about and why this was such a big win. For anyone that, looks past this or, gets over it too quick, this was a big win.
Yeah, it was a huge win for us. And again, like you're saying as well, and I'm very critical of Zach Wilson. Everybody knows that. I'm a Zach guy, but I'm very critical of him, just like I was critical of Sam Darnold when he was here. I keep it real. I'm very objective. And I think a lot of people will look at the stats and go, well, he only had 186 today. But they're also losing.
Okay, thank you.
Also losing context. Hey, this is a Philadelphia Eagles defense that is phenomenal. They literally had 70 sacks like last season. Like, they're not a joke at all. And like you said, even with Carter and Slay, who they were missing today, this is still a defense that absolutely will destroy you, and they will maul all quarterbacks. So when you look at what he did, like you said, he did just enough. And I thought that he played very well and played very solidly in the confines of our offense. And where I want to go with you next really quickly, man, Robert Saleh. There's been a lot of talk about him. There was people that want to fire him, Jets fans that have been screaming to fire him, honestly, since like week 2. Now, when you look at where this team is, right, at 3-3, I think we should be 4-2, but at 3-3, what is your analysis of him at this point? And what do you think? What are your thoughts on what you saw today, right, against this Eagles team? Some of the things that he was able to do defensively, him and the staff, you know, the guys that he brought in and put together. What are your thoughts on him?
Yeah, you know, I mean, he did enough. I mean, he had to do things behind the scenes, and him and Ulbrich, I mean, you know, I'll have to look back at, you know, more of like a replay, but just in terms, and I don't do that as much. I'm not like y'all cats that check out all 22. But from what I can see, I mean, he obviously had, I mean, they had to have some sort of talk, some sort of plan within that defense to have. I mean, all this guy was doing all day was looking towards A.J. Brown. You know, Devontae Smith loses his bits, but you thought with Goddard having the year that he's had that he could have done something. He didn't see Goddard too much. You know, he caught a couple passes, whatever. But like this was not like a Philly offense that, you know, besides the, you know, they did some things. I'm not going to say that they didn't do their thing, but to give credit to Saleh, you know, which is where the question's coming in, like he did what he needed to do to get his guys ready, apparently, you know, get the Craig James of the world and whoever the other guy is whose last name begins with an H or whatever. And, you know, Michael Carter playing on the corner, like on the outside, like they did what they needed to do. And I mean, isn't that what you want from your corner, you know, from your head coach? Like, just like, hey, we're down this and this. Next person up, you know, like the cliche says, next person up. But they made it happen, and I mean, to that, you know, everything is gonna, you know, just like in the football, every football game, it's one thing for coaches, you know, that are still trying to prove themselves. It was one game, and I believe that, you know, they did what they could. I mean, you got dropped by Lazard, you got things going one way and not the other. Again, Zach's our backup, and he's doing what he's doing, but he's working with what he's got, and I gotta, you know, you gotta tip the cap, so to speak, you know, as they do in baseball, to the fact that they did what they did, and they came out with the dubs. And it wasn't like I don't think it was a sloppy dub. They came out with the dubs, and that's coaching right there. I mean, there could have been people that could have dropped their hats thinking what I was thinking as a cynical fan, like, oh, here comes like 40 points, 50 points. But nah, they held it down and made made dude from the quarterback, like, just kind of, there you go, Jalen Hurts, like, just sort of sit there with his head down in the corner going, wow, I just threw the more interceptions that I've ever thrown in any game and whatever, you know? And that's a testament to the coaching.
Yeah. No,
you know?
listen.
And this is without Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, you're talking facts. Now, my final question before I let you go, G, this has been a phenomenal call from you, man. There's people in striped shirts, okay? I want to be careful. This is YouTube. Got people watching me, and I love YouTube. I love you, NFL. I love you too. I'm a big Jets fan. All right, I love y'all. There's people in striped shirts that walk around sometimes on the field. All right, I don't know. They're wearing striped shirts. Now, sometimes these people in striped shirts tend to not like things going the Jets' way. Right? We saw that. We saw Jalen Hurts touchdown. I don't know how that's a touchdown. He's literally down before he reaches out. I don't know how that's a touchdown. I don't know how A.J. Brown, I don't know how that's a catch when he's bobbling the ball. Okay, he's out of bounds. I don't know how that's a catch. I don't know how you can rough or run into the punter if you're jumping for the ball and you happen to land on the ground. I don't know how that happens because that's not running into the punter. And I do not know how exactly that Allen Lazard block is illegal. If he literally, you know, doesn't drive through the guy and try to destroy him when he could have, he actually pulled up. That's not an illegal block. I don't understand these things. So we're seeing these things happen often with the Jets. We saw it against Kansas City with calls that literally gave them first downs and touchdowns. We saw it against the Dallas Cowboys, where roughing the passer penalties that weren't roughing the passer penalties, and even there's people in the league that came out and told the Jets, hey, that's not, you know, that wasn't a good call. That wasn't rough enough. But we've seen this historically. We've seen it against the Patriots. We've seen it us get screwed over multiple times in the past as well by people that wear striped shirts. What are your thoughts on that? And why do you think this is something that continues to happen with the New York Jets, having to deal with bad decisions coming from people with striped shirts? Give me your thoughts.
Hey, I think we talked about it after one of the other calls. And I dropped my, Robert Kraft got some deep pockets. These other owners, they got them deep pockets. Like I really don't know what it is unless it is that Aaron Rodgers. I don't know what it is. They're just not ready to give those calls. To matchups they want to see.
Yeah.
And the fact that we overcome that, and I think that there's many people, or many fan bases that want to talk about, oh, we overcame these calls, but as you pointed out, the NFL is even saying, hey, yeah, no, we need that one. It's kind of like, you know what, maybe we're on to something. Maybe it's not just green goggles, but here's what it is, and yet we still come out with the win. That's what I'm saying. Like, so through all this, and I hear you. That's a valid question. So I'm just like, through all that, and we got the dub. Like, come on, how many times do we get to say that as Jet fans? Considering all the games that you named and things as such, and yeah, for real. Like, it's everything that that you talk about with Savage is, it's on point. It is what it is, and I think that this win just kind of proves 3-3. I mean, put yourself with Aaron Rodgers in there. Go back through the schedule. Do you see yourself at 3-3 and being like, oh, that's cool, or 4-2, okay, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, we're 3-3. I mean, and I forget it. I know that Houston's doing what they're doing, and everybody's doing what they're doing after the schedule, and the Giants are playing right now, against the Bills, and it's going to be what it's going to be. But I mean, that's hey, when after those 4 plays, Aaron goes down, we didn't think that it was going to be this way.
Yeah.
But if you believe, it's going to work out. And so I think that's dope. Hey, I know you got to skate real quick, but I wanted to say I left the comment. I think that this is the weekend for it, and I know you may not want to hear it, but I do want to say we got the Browns beating the 49ers. We got the Jets beating the Eagles. And then you got Notre Dame. I think it all started right there, my man. But I would skate, and you'll probably never take my phone call ever again. But I think it was the weekend of the upsets, my man. Like, I think that set it off for us. Like, once that upset came through, it was like, okay, we can do this.
Oh, he had to bring up SC losing.
Sorry about that. I don't be
Things are going so well. Before I let you go, G, I'm not even.
Man.
Before I let you go, offensive MVP, defensive MVP, who is it? Quickly. Good Lord.
Oh, cool. That you'll even take this. I appreciate that. What do you call it? Yeah. My dude, like, offense, Garrett Wilson with them catches, bro. I'll say that. And, and defense, like I said, I'm going to go with, like, the last player I saw, man, Tony Allen coming through. So,
okay.
With that, like, peace out to all y'all.
Absolutely.
All right, and you too, Joe. Be well.
Absolutely. You have yourself a good one. It's always great to hear from you, G. Next time I have a show, I want to hear from you. Why did G have to bring that up, man? Yes. SC lost. I'm not even going to mention the school that they lost to because they're garbage. Lost to them. Caleb threw 3 picks. Good Lord. What is happening? Okay? What's happening? But that doesn't matter because the Jets were able to get a W today. All right? That's what we're focusing on. Salutes to Jay Johnson. Jay Johnson Savage says that's going to be the analysis on the storyline tomorrow. Eagles missing a player on. Yeah. They're going to try to, the Eagles were missing Jalen Carter and Darius Slay, so that's what they're going to try to do. I already see it coming. But you can't not deny this. You can try to take it away if you want to, but you won't be able to because the Jets came out and took care of business. It's a phenomenal show. We got to wrap things up. Whew. This has been crazy. What a win by the New York Jets. 20-14. This is a beautiful, beautiful win. People screaming to fire Robert Saleh before the game. Zach Wilson is a bum. All this, the Jets defense is finished. All this put away. It's all put away. Jets are 3-3. Jets are 3-3, and we're moving forward. I'm a man of the people. I'm here for the people. Let me shamelessly promote my Facebook page. Everyone go on Facebook, search The Long Beach Joe Show. Like that page. My content's up there. Go ahead and give it a listen. Message me. I'll message you right back. I love going back and forth with you folks about this football team. Also, leave me some feedback. I love hearing about what you folks think I do here on The Long Beach Joe Show. I am also on Twitter as well. Go on over to Twitter. Type in at The Long Beach Joe. At The Long Beach Joe on Twitter. Okay, personal page is at YoungJ000. All right, go over there, follow your boy. I'll follow you right back. You want to troll me? No issues. I am the troll that lives under the bridge, and I will have my Vera Tucker jersey on at all times. At all times, man. I can't wait until he comes back. All right, he's dealing with an injury, torn Achilles, but he'll be back next season. All right. Listen. You want some good players, you come to SC. I don't know what the heck happened this week, but we'll be back. Caleb Williams has looked phenomenal, but come on. Can't lose to that stinky team. You know what I'm saying? But as always, fight on, okay? So I'll be under that bridge. And also, if you want to check your boy out on YouTube, live shows like we're doing right now, you want to watch live watch-alongs with the Savages, you know what I'm saying? Come on over to YouTube, type in, okay? Long Beach Joe Jets on YouTube. Subscribe, hit that notification bell so when I post content, you will be in the know. Also, if you want to troll me, get in those comments as well and troll me. We'll go back and forth. And as always, people, when you see me in person, it is arms out, chest open, free hugs for everyone. Free hugs for everyone. The hugs will cost you absolutely nothing, no matter what anyone says to you, okay? The hugs will always remain free, all right? I want to thank you folks for calling in, interacting with me. Any way that you do, calling in, being in the chat, talking to your boy, asking questions, going back and forth, whatever it is. All right, I want to thank y'all for doing that. Without you people, I'm absolutely nothing. Thank you for taking the times out of your day to get involved with your boy. Phenomenal win from the Jets. Until the next show, you folks have a good one. Peace. 1 second, folks. Okay, I should be back. Listen, I got to get out of here, folks. Listen, this is a phenomenal show, phenomenal time. For those of you that do not know, I will post the radio show portion of the show, standalone video. Y'all get that as we usually do, and you also get the audio for those of y'all that just want to listen to the audio. That is going to come up automatically as well soon after this is over. I got to get out of here because this is a long day, busy day. Schedule's crazy. Listen, folks. I want to thank everybody for joining your boy. Jay Johnson salutes Hacked. Always good to see you in the building again. Thank you for giving to the platform Hacked. I appreciate you. Jake salutes. All right, Method, I see you in the building. Salutes. GVH salutes. Everybody that came on in. Todd. Everybody that stopped on by and just said what's up to your boy, man. I truly appreciate y'all, man. I truly appreciate y'all. Jackson salutes. Just good to see everybody that came on by, man. John, Jennifer, BK Trainer, salutes to you as well. Mark, always good to see you in the building. All right. Mark says, great win. Congrats, Jets. Excellent broadcast, Joe. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you. All right. V-Dash salutes. Okay. Val as usual. Raymond Brown salutes as well. Good to see you in the building. Just good to see everybody in here, man. Everybody that came on by said what's up. Corn salutes. Exhaust Power. All right. Everybody coming on by saying what's up to your boy. And stopping on by, man. I truly, truly appreciate y'all. All right. This is what I do it for. I love interacting with the people. I love going back with the people and, touching bases with y'all. You know what I mean? Seeing what's up and having that discussion. That's what it's all about with me. So I truly, truly appreciate y'all. Simply, salutes to you. Simply awesome. Always good to see you in here. All right. So I got to get up on out of here. Again, we run these live radio shows throughout the duration of the season. We did a live watch along today. I don't know, what's going on with my schedule going forward, but we try to do these throughout the year or throughout the season, excuse me. And I announce them, but the live radio shows, we at least have one of those a week. This phone number does not change from a live radio show. So you can call in. there's a trick. Salutes Method. Good to see you in here. There's a trick that people do, and it's legal. It's very legal to do. So that's why I put it out there. Generally, my shows during the week start at about 7 p.m. Eastern. People call into the show because the lines for the show, the phone lines for the show, open at about 6:50. And so people call in at about 6:50. I think they open at 6:50. Some people have told me that they open before that. I don't know. I just know that I believe that they open at 6:50 p.m. Eastern. That's when the phone lines open for the show. So people call in early, and they wait on the line about 10 minutes. And then the show starts at 7 p.m. Eastern, and they just wait for me to, y'all heard me today. I usually go about 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes, maybe 5 to 10 minutes, and then boom, we go to the lines, and that's how people get on early. So I put that out there so everybody knows, all right? The only thing I do not allow on my show is cursing. Don't call into my show cursing. I'll get you out of here. This is YouTube, and it's also a family-friendly show, okay? So I have young people and old people listen to me. Don't call in here acting crazy, all right? I'll give you a warning. After that, I'll get you up out of here. If the cursing is bad enough from the jump, I'll just get you up out of here. And I have hung up on people. I don't like doing that because I want to hear from y'all, but I will move on. This is YouTube. It's my platform. Got to be careful, okay? Also, don't call in yelling over me. I don't do that either. As y'all saw tonight, I give people more than enough time to talk. I want to hear from you, okay? Generally, we do about, 8 to 10 minutes. I'll, allow people to go on. But, again, we have a show that has, quite a bit of callers. We're going to be moving and grooving through. So, that's what the show is about. Also, when you call in, make sure you have a good phone line. I need to be able to hear y'all. As y'all heard tonight, some people, I'll be like, hey, come closer to your phone. Headsets and stuff like that will jack things up. So, remove those. I want to be able to hear you. If I can't hear you, my audience can't hear you, what can we do? Right? What can we do? I'll have to move on. Also, make sure your background's clear of noise. All right? Got a bunch of noise in your background, I'm going to have to move on too. All right? Can't deal with that either. Can't deal with that. I need to be able to hear you clearly so I can hear your take. All right? I want to be able to hear what you're saying. All right? So we do that. Also, keep in mind, I go down my my queue. I have a queue system. I can physically see you when you call in. So just be patient. We'll get to everybody. If I don't know you by name, I will call out your area code. Please know what your area code is, okay? I've had people that do not know what their area codes is. All right? So please know what your area code is when you call in, and I'll get to you. I welcome new callers. I want to hear from everybody. But you, again, be patient. Y'all heard tonight, my hold times are not long, okay? We move and groove through, all right? So we have a lot of fun doing that. We play games on this channel sometimes. We'll get back to that eventually. Also, please check out, let me make sure I put this exclamation point links. Links in the chat. That's the links to my link tree. My link tree has the links to all of my social media platforms. So please check that out. Please follow me across my social media. Also, please subscribe to the other YouTube channels I have. More reactions are coming on the way. They'll be up soon. Also, I'm wearing pink in the month of October, breast cancer awareness. That's my donation link for the Susie G. Komen Foundation. I've partnered with them. Please go in there. We're trying to raise, I think, $200. So please go in there and give what you can. $1, $2, $3. Anything you give is greatly appreciated. That money goes directly to the Susie G. Komen Foundation. That's the link to my fundraiser page on their website. So please go in there and give anything that you can. Like I said, $1, $2, $3 is greatly appreciated, okay? Anything you give to that is going a long way. I'm all about supporting the fight against breast cancer and spreading breast cancer awareness, okay? We got to eradicate this disease, okay? So please get involved in that if you can. All right, so yeah, we have a lot of fun here. We play games. We do a lot of different stuff. There's more content coming. We'll get to that soon. Yeah, we just have a lot of fun over here. I got to slide out of here. Listen, folks, be safe. All right, be safe. There's a lot of crazy people out in this world. Don't ask me why this world is getting so crazy and why there's so many crazy people. I don't know. Sit down with your friends and your family. Eat some good food. Watch some good TV. Just make those beautiful moments with the people that you love the most and let them know that you love them, okay? It means the world to me. I hope it, impacts your life as well and means the world to you, all right? So you folks have a good one. Until the next show, I'll let y'all know when the next show is. I'm thinking probably Friday. This upcoming Friday might be the next show we're going to do. I'll let you guys know for sure. Again, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell. Give the stream a thumbs up. And share it across your social media with your friends and your family. I'll see y'all folks in the next show. You folks have a good one. Peace.